Hi, I'm Victor, and in this video, I'm going to cover Bitcoin and how I've invested in Bitcoin over the last 2.5 years and what my 30-day review of it is and what my outlook and plans are for Bitcoin in May 2022. First, let me share with you my point of view as a Bitcoin investor so that you understand where I'm coming from. First and foremost, I'm a real estate investor. I've done well with real estate investing. Long-term rentals, also some short-term rental investing. That's gone well. I've been a stock investor for more than 28 years. That's gone really well. And I've been a bond investor for pretty much the last 28 years. And Bitcoin investing is something that I've done for 2.5 years. Become familiar with it. And I truly believe that digital currencies, cryptocurrencies are the future. In 10 years, it'll be very clear how they're going to be a part of what we do on daily life, how we operate within the internet. These new experiences like metaverse and omniverses will really exist, and these things will become reality. Between now and then, really picking the winners and the losers is very tricky, so I'm very careful with it. With that in mind, let me share with you what I'm doing and how I'm investing in Bitcoin as well as other currencies to diversify and really keep a bet for the future in my portfolio. So first, over the last 30 days, a couple of things are clear. First, there's a downward trend on Bitcoin. I'm going to show some graphs that show that Bitcoin's really on a downward trajectory. And it's lost significant value here in 2022. It's lost value over the last prior year. There's a new country that's accepting Bitcoin in Africa. That's really cool to see. As more countries accept Bitcoin, you'll see that just fundamentally, people will become more comfortable with that currency. There's a new ETF where you can invest in Bitcoin. And right now there's no positive momentum for Bitcoin. I just don't see it. And really that's the macro environment at play where you have the S&P index down 14% year to date. The NASDAQ is down more than 23% year to date. There's just lots of good, bad news. And then you have interest rates rising so darn fast. It's going to raise mortgage rates and therefore cause real estate to drop. So there are some big pieces of news that the economy, investors are trying to process. And I think that Bitcoin is really taking a backseat to all of that drama that's taking place in the marketplace. All right, so let me show you Bitcoin year to date. It is down 27.5%. And you can see that the S&P is down 14%. And you can see that Bitcoin has some correlation to the S&P. And at a couple of points, the Bitcoin appreciation has exceeded the S&P, but it really has exaggerated certain moves. As the S&P goes downward, the Bitcoin price has been going down to a greater extent. So the volatility is even higher with Bitcoin. We look at the 1 month trend, you could see it. They're almost, in parallel. Now, what I'm beginning to feel is that Bitcoin is oversold. I believe that Bitcoin is a stored value. I believe it's going to be worth a lot more in 10 years. So I'm looking at buying in May because I'm seeing that really markets are beginning to get into oversold mode, especially stocks that I really like. I've been buying those stocks. I'm going to continue to buy into stocks that I believe in. And I'm going to buy some Bitcoin in May because I'm seeing that we're in an oversold position. In this graph here, what I've done is I'm showing you the same graph where the Bitcoin and the S&P index are together. So you could see that. But I'm putting where the interest on 10-year treasuries, how it's moved. You can see that those interest rates, we've seen a move year to date, just very aggressively over the last 2 months. 2 months. And holy smokes, that's put a lot of downward pressure on the stock market as well as Bitcoin. So I think really when interest rates stop their move is when I think, the stock market as well as Bitcoin is going to begin its rise. Now, interest rates are not going to go up forever. I think it's healthy to have interest rates go up. I think real estate was way overpriced, and that's coming from somebody who holds real estate, owns real estate properties that are investments. If anything, I would want, hey, have the price go up, to infinity, but that's not possible. So really higher interest rates are healthy for our economy, have prices come down, reduce inflation, make the opportunity to buy a home to that first time buyer easier. So all of those things are healthy. We're going to need to wait for that interest rate to really flatten out for about 30 days. And that's going to be the move, or that'll be the time when you'll see Bitcoin rise. Between now and then, I'm going to try to, dollar cost average my investment in more Bitcoin by buying each month until that event happens with interest rates. So this is year to date, and then month to date, again, the move in interest rates is really at a direct opposite effect between the stock market and Bitcoin. As interest rates have risen, the stock market as well as Bitcoin have dropped. So when we see that flatten out and potentially even go down, if that's possible, maybe over the next 6 months to 2 years, you'll see Bitcoin rise if these trends or these causal effects remain consistent. Okay, I'll end the charts by going to the 5-year, and the 5-year reminds me that, Bitcoin has great potential, and it really grew from it being just an obscure idea to having hundreds of billions of market cap. And it did so because people really did acknowledge, like I'm acknowledging, that it has a future. And if you'd have had a Bitcoin and held it for 5 years, you would have multiplied your money times roughly 16 times. So this was a great investment for the holder of Bitcoin over the last 5 years. So to recap my report on BTC, the last year has been quite terrible, 41% down. Year to date, it's not looking good, 27.5% down. The market cap continues to be very high. We have multiple ETFs now where you can invest in Bitcoin. Countries are accepting this currency. So that's a positive move. But my outlook is the downward trend, it's not going to stop until interest rates flatten out. If interest rates continue to rise, both the stock market and Bitcoin will continue to fall. BTC is a stored value, and it is on trial if it could truly be an inflationary hedge and a stock market hedge. So far, that it's not proving to be that, and it might be more market psychology than anything. We'll see. Hindsight's 2020. When we get through this bear market, we could see where Bitcoin is trading at that time. I'm going to continue to hold that one Bitcoin I own, as well as I own a pretty good position of Ethereum too, as well as other currencies. I'm going to expand my crypto portfolio, and the reasons for it is that it has always been a good diversification idea. It's the smallest area of my overall portfolio. I believe it's only like 2% of my portfolio, if that. So increasing it maybe by 10, 20% over the next month or two wouldn't be that much exposure. But I'm believing that at a certain point, once interest rates flatten out, we're going to see a rally in Bitcoin, and I want to be a part of that. So this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not recommending that you buy Bitcoin, invest in Bitcoin, trade Bitcoin. I like to share my investment experience, and I'm an owner of Bitcoin, and hope you found this interesting. So that's my report on Bitcoin. I hope you found it interesting. If you'd like to see more content like this, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and hit the bell if you want to be notified when I create a new video. Thanks again for watching. Good luck investing in 2022.